Now I can forget about that. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. What we're going to work on this session is on more peacefulness in our lives, more goodwill to men. So when this is being recorded, it's December 24th. So it seemed appropriate to do something with those themes of peacefulness and goodwill. I do want to say something about peacefulness. A friend of mine many, many years ago, we were both in our early 20s. He wrote a science fiction story that got published. And I don't remember super well at this point, but this woman, she's some kind of alien with powers. She can affect people. And she lands on this planet. And on the planet, everything is just completely peaceful. Everybody's completely imbalanced, completely peaceful. But they're in this constant status quo forever. Nothing ever changes. So at the end of the story, she uses her powers and kind of shakes things up. There was a similar kind of story in a way. Some of you know who H.H. Munro was. He was an English writer. He wrote under the name Saki. And he wrote these stories that always had a twist at the end. And I remember one of them was called the Unrest Cure. And this man, somehow he overhears, like on a train or something, a vicar and his sister, and they live together. And everything in their life is about order and stability and peace. And like she's a little upset because the birds are, a day or two late and they're nesting. And they always nest at the same time every year. So again, everything's about peace and harmony and never about growth and change. So this guy decides they need an unrest cure. And it gets really crazy. He shows up and they don't recognize him. And he's pretending to be an envoy of the Pope. And the Pope is coming to England and going to stay at their house. And he just gets them in complete chaos and then leaves. and the idea is it's an unrest cure. So why am I mentioning these stories? Because, it is a legitimate spiritual path if you want to be in a peaceful, blissful state 24/7, all the time. And when I hear, but I think for most of us, that's not really what we're after, maybe towards the end of our lives. And when I hear people talk about peace and balance, I can't remember who said it once, but somebody who I respect, he was kind of going, is there anything about this life that makes you think we were here to be peaceful and balanced all the time? So I'm just saying all of this, we're going to work on being more peaceful. We're going to work on having more goodwill. And I'd just like you to realize it's not a bad thing when we're not peaceful. That we want more peace in our lives, but at the same time, for most of us, that's really not our spiritual path or our desire to be peaceful all the time. So wanted to throw that out there. Take a couple easy deep breaths, and we are going to work on being more peaceful. So we will do that. And again, I apologize. I'm kind of a strange skin tone, but something about the camera, at least it might be just my monitor. So for those of you who are new to energetic NLP, a couple of things. In energetic NLP, one of the things we specialize in is remote energy work, which is why these can work. And the thing that surprises a lot of people is it works even in recordings. And that's because there's an energy field, what's called a thought form, that's attached to each one of these videos. So if you watch it later, and if you pretend it's happening as you're watching it, then like right now it's happening, you'll access the energy field, the thought form that's attached to the video. So, and I've been doing this for many, many, many years, and, many people have validated that this is true. And a lot of them to their great surprise the first time. So this will work whether you're watching this as a recording or live. The other thing I wanted to say is in energetic NLP, we try to take things lightly. We try to do things with amusement, even when there's serious issues. There are energy systems that are about concentration and thinking hard, and those are great. And that's not what we do in energetic NLP, at least not most of the time. This is about being playful. This is about letting things flow. This is about letting your natural spiritual and energetic abilities come to the surface and just work. So as we're doing this, the way to get the least out of it is try to figure out if you're doing it right, and is it working, and are you thinking the right things, are you saying the right things, are you feeling the right things? Just let it be whatever it is for the next 20 minutes or so. Let it be whatever it is. And later you'll notice, or you won't, the things change. But for right now, just accept however you're feeling. If you get really energized, that's great. If you get sleepy and trancy, also very great. If you are thinking profound thoughts, that's great. If you're thinking silly thoughts, that's great. You may temporarily feel aches and pains as the energy flows. And that's just sometimes when blocks are clearing, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Old emotions may come up. In energy clearings, a lot of times old emotions come up, and a lot of times they just release. Sometimes people feel them as they're releasing. And that's fine as long as you're just mindful of it and go, oh, this emotion's coming up and I'm releasing it because it's old. And a secret is that most of that energy, that emotional energy, won't even really be yours. It'll be energy absorbed from other people, or it'll be past life emotional energy that's been stored in your energy field, your tissues, your DNA, your cells. We want to just release it. So if emotions do come up, just notice them and go, oh, that's good. Just let it go. Don't fight it, don't feed it. Resistance may come up because old programming will be getting released. And sometimes the programming has programming that protects it. And this can be unconscious programming, energetic programming, ancestral programming, familial programming, societal programming, past life programming. And again, just let things release. And if resistance comes up, like all of a sudden you may be, oh, no, I have to go do that thing I put off for 5 years right now, or something, or all of a sudden get impatient or whatever, just notice it and go, okay, now something big got hit and it's just trying to protect itself as it's being released. Now, my job is to get the energies flowing. And remote energy work is a huge part of energetic NLP. And I just want you to know, anybody can do it. And if you already do it, anybody can learn to do it better and better and better. And if you've never done it, if it interests you, it's one of the things I teach people how to do. It's part of the energetic NLP bigger training programs. Bigger isn't longer as opposed to the really short programs. The short programs are more like what we're doing now. It might be a day or two, and it's all about releasing old blocks and opening up skills, abilities, opening up your potential to have a more and more miraculous life. And then the M Club is a longer program for people who want even more transformation, but also want to learn how to do energetic NLP. And when they're learning that, it's not necessarily because they're in the helping professions. People use it in corporations and leadership with their family and with their friends. When you learn how to do these processes with other people, it accelerates your own personal and spiritual development. So that's all I'll say about that for now. And I hope I've intrigued a few of you. And so take a couple easy, deep breaths. In energetic NLP, again, my job will be to get the energy flowing. And it doesn't matter where you are, if you're thousands of miles away from me or in the same room, it works exactly the same. And in energetic NLP, you always put your spirit with its vast awareness and your deep inner human wisdom in charge. So your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom will decide what blocks get released. So in this case, blocks to peacefulness and that goodwill to men. Goodwill to people. I was using the way it used to be said in Christmas. So peacefulness and goodwill to people are the two things we're working on. And that includes goodwill to yourself, being less critical, less judgmental, less nasty to yourself. And we're living in a time where there's quite a bit of nastiness going on. particularly politically, but just in all kinds of levels. I mean, you know, that you see little comments on Facebook that aren't just like, well, I don't agree with you, but it's like, I mean, it's just, there's a whole level of, what do they call it? Incivility and nastiness going on. And we're the kind of people, we can have boundaries, we can stand up for ourselves, we can make our opinions heard without attacking another person. And that's part of this new movement in humanity, is to really get that. It's like, you can disagree with somebody, you don't have to fight them to disagree with them. You don't have to fight them to have your boundaries, your standards. But your inner wisdom and spirit will figure this all out. When your spirit, with its vast awareness and your deep inner human wisdom, are working together, it creates something new. In an energetic NLP, we call that your miraculous self. And developing a really strong miraculous self, where you have both the perspective of your spirit and the practicality of your deep inner human wisdom, when they're working together, your life gets more and more miraculous. You make fewer decisions because you feel more guided, supported. More and more, you just know things. So take a couple easy, deep breaths. And developing a really strong, miraculous self is something that we continue to work on in energetic NLP. And there's always the next level of it. We evolve both what it is and how well it guides us and supports us consciously, unconsciously, and even guides and supports the physical body in its operations. Everything from your metabolism to your immune system, it can help with. For right now, though, the first steps, for those of you that are new, are just set your intention. Go, my spirit and my deep inner human wisdom are forming a miraculous self right now. Simple as that. And then give 100% permission. Because as sentient beings, as conscious beings, we have a right to make choices in our life. So you have a right to make choices in your life. So go, I'm giving 100% permission from my spirit, my deep inner human wisdom, to form my miraculous self right now. And you can just go yes to what Art said if you want to. Easy deep breaths. I'm looking out the window because we haven't had much rain here in Southern California, and we're getting a little pre-Christmas rain, which is probably like getting snow for a lot of you for Christmas. It's like, it's a gift. We really need the rain. So it's a good sign, good start, good end of the year to start off a new year. So our intention, again, set your intention that we're going to start running the energy now. And all you need to do is relax and put your miraculous self in charge. That's why we call these energy spas, energetic NLP energy spas, because you relax, you put your miraculous self in charge, and the energy does all the work. You do need to set your intention and give permission. So if you want it, set your intention now to have more peacefulness in your life. And again, my opinion is it's not 24/7 peacefulness, but more peacefulness in your life. And also more goodwill to people, both sending it out, but also attracting it. You know how there's people that just attract goodwill, and you've all had times where you're attracting a lot of goodwill or you're doing the opposite. So set your intention that what we're doing right now is increasing your ability to have peacefulness and your ability both to have goodwill to people and to attract goodwill from people. And if that sounds good, you can put yes in the comments if you want to. And now take a couple easy deep breaths and we'll start running the energies. And remember, all you need to do is the permission and the intention, and then just let your miraculous self be in charge of what happens. Easy deep breaths. And it's kind of fun to know there's people from the UK, the US, and Brazil, at least on the call. And Regina, I miss Brazil, so say hi to Brazil for me. I was going to be there now, but I put it off until after all the craziness. So the energy is lightly dissolving programming and blocks that interferes with your ability to have peacefulness, particularly when you sleep, other times during the day, night. We're clearing blocks to radiating goodwill, and we're dissolving blocks to attracting goodwill from people. I mean, what if most of the time you brought out the best in other people just because of the way your energy field is set up? People naturally are being their best around you. And when I said their best, I don't mean that perfect. It's just they're being really good around you. You bring out their really goodness. Yeah, so. Now, as the old programming and blocks are being dissolved, as old emotions are being released, old traumas, your miraculous self is replacing any old limiting beliefs or emotions with wisdom, skills, knowledge, and abilities and concepts from your miraculous self, from your spirit and deep inner human wisdom. So as the old limiting beliefs and programming and blocks release, they're replaced by wisdom, skills, concepts, and abilities from your miraculous self. And I'll remind you, if emotions come up, just notice them, be mindful of them, and let them go. You don't have to analyze or judge them. They're trying to leave. Most of it won't even be your energy. If you get temporary aches and pains or other physical reactions, just go, oh, okay, good, I'm releasing some stuff, and just allow that to process through. You may yawn, your eyes may water. You may get twitches. Those are just all ways energies can release. And the energy just may gently flow off. All of those are good. Easy deep breaths. Deliberately smile. Just imagine you can send that smile down to your heart. Send the smile down to your internal organs. Send that smile to any parts of your body that are stiff or uncomfortable or painful. Easy deep breaths. And if it appeals to you, you can imagine that peacefulness becomes part of the foundation of your being. And what I mean by that is you can be having whatever's going on one level, on the more interacting with life level. So maybe you're on a mission and you're getting things done. And so on one level, that's not peaceful. But underneath it, there can be this foundation of peacefulness, this rock solid that you can drop into when you want to or need to. But even when you're not feeling it so much, it's present in the background. It's like it's the foundation of your being. It's a part of the foundation of your being. So that's appealing. Let the energy in your miraculous self start weaving peacefulness into the foundation of your being. So again, the goal is not to always be peaceful, but to be able to slip in and out of peacefulness when we want to, but also that peacefulness is kind of like a peacefulness, confidence, it's faith. It's wired into the foundation of your being. There we go. Let that come in. And your miraculous self will figure out what's a really good way to do that for you right now in your life, with what's going on in your life. Easy deep breaths. Let's bring in energy to help you process and integrate what you've done. You're going to be processing this for at least days, maybe longer, and that's a good thing. So we're just bringing energy to help that processing be easy and flowing. Easy deep breath. If you have any grounding, just let your miraculous self dissolve it and let the earth do all the work. Let the earth give you a new grounding in present time. And you can imagine a column of energy coming up from the very heart of the earth, from the heart of the Mother Nature, Mother Earth energies. And that column of energy comes up near the base of your spine, near it. And then you just give the earth permission to ground only your authentic energy into your body, to ground only your authentic energy into your body. And a fun way to imagine that is imagine there's a point of light in your energy field for every cell in your body, a point of light in your energy field for every cell in your body. And when the earth grounds you, every point of light goes back in the cell it belongs in because they get out of whack. But when you're grounded, every point of light is in the cell it belongs in. And that grounding column of energy is sending gently and still effectively nurturing, healing, loving energies up from the earth, energies that acknowledge you, energies that validate your right to be here, your right to be alive, your right to go for happiness and abundance. Energies that are healing, nurturing, supportive, energies that will help you co-manifest. And at the same time, your miraculous self is using that grounding column to gently release out of you any energies that are in your energy field that aren't yours and aren't helpful. So it's releasing energies that aren't yours, aren't in present time, aren't helpful. And your miraculous self will figure that out. And as it does that, it brings more of your true essence into your body and energy field. And it also brings in earth and universal energies that will support you now and in your next steps in life. So your miraculous self, as energies have come off of you, is filling your body, your cells, your DNA, your chakras, your energy channels, the layers of your aura, your energy field, which is in you and all around you. And it's filling your cells, your DNA, your organs, all of that with more of your essence and earth and universal energies that nurture and support you. And I'd like to ask your unconscious mind and your miraculous self that after this session, if you're doing anything that requires safety and alertness, that your miraculous self and your unconscious mind turn down the processing and make sure you're naturally safe and alert, naturally safe and alert, naturally safe and alert. And if you're interacting with other people, that it adjusts the processing so that you can enjoyably interact with them. Or if you have other things that you're doing, adjust the processing so that you can easily do the things that you want or need to do. And if you want to, give permission and set the intention that tonight and for the next 4 nights, part of the time when you're sleeping, not all night, part of the time when you're sleeping, your unconscious mind and your miraculous self will review what we did in this session. And it will infuse it with wisdom, skills, knowledges, and abilities from your miraculous self. It'll make it deeper and wider. It'll make it higher. It'll make it more multidimensional. And most importantly, it will automatically integrate it into your life. So that while you sleep soundly and deeply and wake up feeling refreshed, your ability to go in and out of peacefulness when you want to, your ability to have peacefulness as part of the foundation of your being, your ability to act with goodwill and your ability to attract goodwill will be increasing every day for at least the next 4 days, if not longer. And if you're doing anything now that you want to be alert for, we can bring in some sparkling energy, stomp your feet, pat your body. It's really good to drink water after energy work. It's really, really important. Water, by the way, is not wine, coffee, beer, tea. It's water, maybe with some minerals or lemon in it or something like that. And it's good to even just lightly stretch and move or walk or take a shower or bath, because your body now wants to realign in a better way. Now that your energy is shifted, your body can realign too. I do these Facebook Lives pretty much every Thursday. Occasionally, if I'm teaching or working or in somebody else's workshop, I don't, but I'll put that in the Facebook page. And I have a lot of videos on YouTube under Energetic NLP or Art Giser, which is Giser. But the main thing I want to encourage you to do, if you're not on my mailing list, then as one of my mentors used to say, well, what are you doing with your life? Get on my mailing list. So you would go to ENLP, for Energetic NLP, ENLP, the number 7.com, ENLP, the number 7.com, and then you'll be on the mailing list. And then you'll hear about this. I do a lot of free energy spas. I also do more extensive programs. So I would encourage you to get on the mailing list. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you would like the page, maybe put a review on the page, nice comments on the post. Reviews on the page are great too. They up at the top somewhere, you might have to click on more, you can put reviews. And what makes those important is, as you know, nowadays, people look at reviews to see whether something's worth their time, because there's just so much stuff out there. So you're helping other people and you're helping me if you do that. And well, if you get on the mailing list, you'll hear about, there's already recorded energy spas that are longer, that work on different subjects in this that you can access, that you'll hear about if you're on the mailing list. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who are listening in December, happy holidays, Merry Christmas specifically, because it's Christmas Eve here. And wishing you a fantastic 2021, or whenever you're listening to this. And I will be doing some programs specifically on setting up the energy for the new year. If you're on my mailing list, you'll hear about it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And enjoy attracting more goodwill, giving more goodwill, and having more peacefulness. So pleasure being with you here today. Let's dissolve our group energy and set your intention that your miraculous self is going to pull your energy back from my space and from everybody else's space, because we have a tendency to hop into each other's space. So I'll get my energy out of your space. Please get your energy out of my space. Otherwise, you'll feel depleted. So bring in your energy. Be sure to drink water. Be sure to move a little bit, and have a fantastic holiday season. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye, everybody.